right, well, now we are there. So, yeah, Lovington just scoring immediately. Light the lamp for Josue Gomez. Thank you, Tiff. Using equipment I'm not completely familiar with today. We got people going all over the spots and over the places. So 1-0 on a 90-second goal for Josue Gomez. Lovington trying to go back on the attack into the midfield. Looking over, looking around. And a long cross-pitch pass that Lovington will corral. That'll be Rodriguez. Rodriguez sends an entry pass in that'll just go bouncing through and out of the back of the end zone. And so that will allow the Lobos to kick it away. Number 9 versus number 10 teams in the state. Chaparral number 9, Lovington number 10. You would expect a fairly even matchup. Lovington taking advantage of some early pressure to lead this one 1-0. 3 minutes gone in this one as that one goes bounding into the midfield and takes a funny hop on the blue turf as Contreras just going to pop it back up. Let his teammates go battle for it. Pretty good fight for it there with Cruz and Pichardo. And they're going to say free kick for Chaparral. Of course, this Chaparral team faced Hobbs, lost 5-0. But they did go on the attack quite often. In the near side, working it is Cruz. Of course, they're going to do everything they can to find Flores, who is their main striker and offensive threat. To Cruz, moving it forward, and that will be Flores. Flores takes it from 25 yards out. Alexander over and will block it down and make his first save of the ball game. 1-0, still Wildcats in the lead as Alexander sends it back down the pitch and onto the chest of Mendoza. Mendoza sends it back to Banuelos, and they'll feed it forward. Running start, and it is a foot into the corner. Garcia will get there first. And it will go back over to the Lobos of Chaparral. So Lobo ball, 4 minutes plus gone in this one. Lovington on a goal at the 132 mark by Josue Gomez. The sophomore midfielder found a little soft spot and banged it home from around 20 yards out. On the free kick, that one will bounce into the midfield. And taking a funny hop is one of the Chaparral players. And it'll come skittering onto the near side and go out. It'll be a free throw, a throw in, I should say, for Cruz. Cruz will toss it back. That is Nunez, and a whistle sounds, and they are going to call an infraction on Chaparral, so it'll be Lovington ball. And it'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats from the near side. That's Rodriguez to send it in. As Rodriguez will toss it down, and it'll wind up on the foot of Mendoza. Mendoza battles with Cruz, and then he'll send a bouncing ball forward. Could be trouble, but nope, not able to get to that one was Gomez, who was coming up the right wing. As Garcia will send it back down. 1-0, Lovington in the lead. Still early in this one, just 5 minutes gone. Down the near sideline with Mendoza, who just checked in. And that one will go out, and it'll be a throw-in deep in the Lovington end for Chaparral. Chaparral tosses it in. They're going to try and find a little room. Back to Cruz, trying to center it up, and Lovington tries to send it back out. They will, and onto the feet of Mendoza. Mendoza gets in a foot race and a battle, gets tripped up with Nunez as they tangle and into the middle of the pitch, and a little room there to run for Zuniga. Zuniga, though, losing the ball to Nava. Nava will feed it up the left wing, but out and off of the foot of Banuelos. And Chaparral will track it down and send it back to their keeper, who will send it back into play. So back out towards the midfield. Chaparral trying to go on the attack here, trailing 1-0. Of course, high school soccer, you play 2 40-minute halves with a 10-minute halftime. So on to the near side. And there's a bouncing ball into the middle, looking for some space. Could be trouble, turning around, firing. That one will be blocked out, and Lovington will just have to pop it up and out on the near side. Chaparral getting inside there with Mendez and Cruz, and causing the Wildcats a little bit of trouble. So now on the throw-in, it'll be Loetta as he puts it in, and Galarraza, he'll send a bouncer through. Contreras is there to just bounce it back into the midfield. Chaparral has been on the attack. Lovington has had really one good attack, and it resulted in a goal. You can't settle down and slow down from here, though. So playing around the midfield and a pop-up back is Chaparral again trying to mount some attack. The Lovington Wildcats moving over, looking for some room to run. Chaparral so far has played very good defense and has kept Lovington out of the Chaparral end. Another little bit of miscommunication there is trying to find Mendoza, and it'll go out of the back line and back into play. But now Lovington with an opportunity. Centering pass back to the center. Lowing up and light the lamp as the Wildcats get another one on the strike from Alejandro Mendoza. Comes at 7:53 of the first period, and the Wildcats leading by 2 goals just like that. They found 2 opportunities, and they have made them both work. So lighting the lamp at 7:53 in the 8th minute of the first. Alejandro Mendoza puts the Cats up early 2-0. Defense has done their job. They've played back on their heels a little bit. Chaparral being fairly aggressive, but Lovington has taken that aggression and turned it against them. They've had 2 looks at the goal, 2 shots on goal, and both of them have found the back of the net past Garcia. So now Chaparral trailing 2-0. Still very early in this one, though. 31:53 remaining in the first half. Back to Contreras, who will just send it all the way down the pitch off of the head of Loetta. And Lovington will come up and fight, and that'll be a bouncing ball in. Garcia going to have to come over and corral that one. Mendoza, I don't think, meant to pop it back that way. He just did, as Garcia sends it back down. And onto the feet of Nunez. Nunez and Cruz kind of trading off. And winding up with it is Zuniga, who will send a bouncing ball deep into the Lovington end, giving chase. Contreras gets to it. I think we're going to have... I thought we had a whistle. We did not. And then another bouncer. Mendoza looking for some room. Tried to split through 2 Lobos. Not going to work. And Chaparral will take back over. Onto the foot near side of Loetta. Looking for some room. He'll feed it over to Cruz. Working on the left wing. Takes it in on Alexander. Tries the wide angle shot. Alexander gets a piece of it. And then it is knocked away. Good job by Alexander. His second save of the ball game to deter that one from Loetta. So second shot on goal for Chaparral, and they will have it deep in the Lovington end. Botting it off is Cruz, looking for some room in the middle. Lovington will just take it away as the 2 teams just continue to battle. Most of the time in this one has been spent in the Chaparral attacking end, the Lovington defensive end. Only 2 shots on goal against Alexander. Hayden has stopped them both, the senior keeper. Lovington with 2 shots on goal, and both of them finding the back of the net. So a throw in for the Wildcats from the far sideline. Bouncing ball, and then a header comes off of Brandon Banuelos over there, and they're going to say last touched by Delgado. So Banuelos to throw it back in, throws it towards Delgado, who will immediately pop it back out towards the midfield and onto the far sideline. And we'll have a whistle, and it'll be out. Nope, it'll be a minor infraction on Lovington, so free kick for Chaparral. 2-0, Lovington in the lead. 10 minutes have expired in this one. Into the far right corner, centering pass. Contreras just side swipes it out of there, and Lovington will try and bring it back up. Need to get the attack on if you can. 2-0 is not a real safe lead early in the game. And that'll be a bouncer. It's going to find its way through, but they are going to wave it off. Moving in is Mendoza, and they're going to say offsides on the Wildcats. So a breakaway opportunity there as I was watching Mendoza run down. The near side official raised the flag, though, for offsides. So it'll be a free kick now from midfield for Chaparral. 2-0 in favor of the Cats. Chaparral will come up on it and send the bouncer down deep into the Lovington defensive end, finding a little room. Looking for some more room to work is Nunez. Lovington collapses in on him nicely. Now a little spin move, a little battle, and swatted out by one of the Lovington defensemen back towards midfield. Mendoza with it. He'll send a bouncing ball down and out into the Chaparral bench. And it'll go back to Chaparral. Score remains 2-0 in favor of Lovington. Quick goal by Josue Gomez in the 2nd minute. And then Alejandro Mendoza in the 8th minute. So a throw in around midfield for Chaparral. Trying to take it up the far sideline is Perez, and they will call an infraction on Lovington. So it'll be a free kick from around the 30-yard mark on the other side. So an opportunity for a set play here for Chaparral. They'll go line everybody up in front of the goal, about 15 yards out, and throw in, and yep, they're going to call an infraction on Chaparral back in the middle. So it'll be a Lovington free kick as Contreras will set it down just outside the 5-yard line. They're going to say they want it back a little further still. And he's just going to toss it over to Alexander. Oh, they say they want a new ball. Yep, they say they want a new ball. So setting down at the PAT line on the football field. Contreras will send it away. Bouncing ball trying to get Mendoza. Comes off of his heels a little bit. And then Chaparral tries to settle things down and take back over. Lovington on him in the midfield, but on the Chaparral attacking side to the near side. Mendoza sends a bouncer down, giving chase into the deep right corner, and that one knocked away. See, that was Pichardo trying to get Mendoza. But it is booted out by one of the Lobos, so it'll be a Wildcat throw-in from deep inside of Chaparral territory. And on paper, 2 evenly matched teams. Each team 6 and 5, number 9 and number 10 in the Max Preps rankings. So it'll be Pichardo on the throw-in. Just a little light one there as it'll go flying through. Mendoza working the near sideline, centering pass, bounces in on goal. So Garcia will have his first save on Mendoza's second shot of the afternoon. Back into play. So the Cats have had 3 attacking opportunities and have cashed in on 2 of them thus far. Pichardo, working from around 40 yards out, tries to send one on towards the goal, but that one heeled away by Zuniga. It'll be another throw-in for the Wildcats. 25 plus remaining here in the first half of play. Lovington leading 2-0. I'm TJ Miracle. Great to be back high above the blue turf of Brian Urlacher Field at Wildcat Stadium. So Pichardo throws it in, kind of a dangerous throw over towards the back end line. Mendoza works on it, a little hesitation, start and stop, and then he's just going to have to send it bouncing over and out behind the goal line. Well, that'll go over, or are they going to say free kick for Lovington? Or is it just going to be a throw-in? Yeah, it will be a free kick as Mendoza going to set that one down. So the free kick for the Wildcats, chance for a set play here. Lovington going to put 6 guys around the net. Mendoza goes towards it, sends one high and over the heads of everyone and across the pitch. And then back down, giving chase on the run. Opportunity here for Chaparral. Moving it up, that was Estrada. A good defense getting back over there for the Wildcats in Rodriguez. And the ball goes out, free throw in. A throw in, I should say, for Chaparral. on the throw-in. Lovington will just take it away, and they will start it up in the midfield. Putting on the jets and out. Trying to get around was Banuelos, but defender over there not going to let him get any room. As the ball goes rolling, of course, a big thanks to all of our great sponsors. You see them there at the bottom of your screen. Couldn't do it without their support, making it possible for us to bring you Wildcat and Lady Cat athletics all season long. HobbsAmerica.com, Lovington Sports YouTube, Lee County News and Sports YouTube, which is where we are this afternoon. Lovington Lady Cat volleyball team, we will be with them about 2 o'clock. Lovington Sports YouTube, Dawn will be across campus at Wildcat Gym for that one, as they take on Ruidoso this afternoon. The Lovington boys soccer team taking on Chaparral today. And into the backfield, and that one just going to slide away as Alexander will send it back out. Lovington looking to put on a little more pressure as Mendoza gets a little room. He's got a breakaway, could be another one, and light the lamp, Mendoza has his second goal of the game at 22:42 of the first. Comes in the 17th minute. 17-18 for Alejandro Mendoza, his second goal of the ball game. And Lovington has lit the lamp for the third time, and they go up by a score of 3-0. The Wildcats with 4 attacking opportunities, and they have cashed in on 3 of them. You like that statistic. 22-42. So in the 18th minute of the match, Mendoza nets his second goal. 3 shots, 2 goals. You like that too. Lovington on the breakaway as their keeper Garcia has had no answer for the Lovington Strikers thus far. So Lovington, if they stay aggressive, it's what you want to see. Pichardo sends a slow roller up the far hash mark. Taken back over. Let's see if Lovington, smelling some blood in the water, keeps the attack up. Chaparral trying to get it out of there and trying to mount some offense of their own with Galraza. He'll send a centering pass in that will promptly be booted away by Rodriguez. But they are going to, I think, call Rodriguez for a foul, and we do have a player down, so injury timeout. As a young man for Chaparral, a little slow getting up. We've just ticked under 22 minutes plus stoppage remaining in the first. Is up and moving. Galraza looks like he's going to be all right. Galraza and Gomez shake it up. So got to think maybe a collision between those two. So it'll be a free kick for Chaparral, and sending that one in, and Alexander is just going to knock it away. That'll be his 3rd save of the afternoon. That comes off the toe of Mendez, the junior utility man. And it goes out, so it'll be a corner kick now. So a chance for a set play is going over as Galraza on the free kick. He'll send it over towards the middle, and that will get over the hands of Alexander, but bounces out, and the Lovington defense will clear it away. Heading it up, trying to move it forward. Lovington does a nice job there. That'll be actually another save for Alexander. And we will have a whistle and an infraction on Chaparral. So Lovington with a free kick. It looks like Banuelos will take that one from the middle. As we click towards the halfway mark of this first half, Cats leading 3-0. So Lovington going to go set the play up as Banuelos kick it from approximately 50 yards from the goal line. Of course, the soccer pitch 20 yards longer than the American football pitch, American football field, but the lines do come in handy. Just add 10 either way. So from approximately 50 yards out, Banuelos and Rodriguez both back there looking at it, as coming over as Coach Hernandez. He's a little hot under the collar about something. He's talking on the far sideline with one of the officials. So seeing something he didn't like. This is the Wildcats still preparing for a free kick. still preparing. So I think we've got a sub going in the ball game. A lot of standing around in this game before it started, and now that it has started a little bit. So now they will signal Banuelos ready to go. He'll send a low liner in. It is headed out by Chaparral, and they will start it back up the field. Attempted centering pass. That one works to Cruz, but Banuelos gets there quickly, picks his pocket, sends it over onto the far sideline, trying to get it onto the toe of Mendoza. Mendoza, nifty little move, centering pass, but that one will be stolen away deep inside the Lovington attacking zone, and Chaparral will send it bouncing out into their own bench, and so a Lovington throw in. Cats on the attack. And still standing around as they've decided that it is Chaparral ball. Or do we have another injury? No. I don't know. The Cats are heading over to their bench. The Lobos are heading over to their bench, so I'm not sure what's going on here. The official's going to huddle up, looks like. So, again, I'm not sure what's going on here. Unless it's maybe something with some of the noisemakers in the crowd. A few of them do sound suspiciously like whistles. There was a warning for that actually issued during the football game a couple of weeks ago right here. But both teams have been exiled to their benches. I know we don't have any weather in the neighborhood today. So again, I'm not sure what the discussions are unless it's just a hydration timeout or something. The teams have just huddled up. The officials going over to go to the water cart. Again, I don't know what the heck's going on, but while we have a moment, big thanks to all of our great sponsors. You see them there at the bottom of your screen. Couldn't do it without their help and support, making Lovington Wildcat and Lady Cat Athletics possible here on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Lovington Lady Cats will be getting underway here in just about 20 minutes or so from Wildcat Gym on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com, taking on an old familiar face, a longtime district foe, not district anymore, but the Ruidoso Warriors, Lady Warriors. Dawn Morgan, my partner in crime, has that game for you over on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com. Last night, the Lovington Wildcats getting the big win, getting back in the win column on the football field, 44-26 over the Goddard Rockets to get themselves back into district contention with a massive game against Artesia coming up on Friday night. We will have that one for you, of course, Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Hope to see you there as Lovington looks to break the streak. It has been a long, long time since the Cats beat the Dogs, period, and it's been an even longer time since they beat them in Artesia. So maybe this is the year when Coach Bailey and the Wildcat football team can get it done. And again, we are still in a break, and I do not know what in the world is going on down there. I mean, we've played games in hotter conditions, and we haven't had hydration breaks, so I don't know what is going on. The officials are out there, but they have pulled both the teams off the field. Again, I don't know what in the world's happening. So they're going to send Chaparral back out on the field. All I can think of is it had to be a hydration break or something, but I'm not sure I've ever seen that before. I know it's happened, but not when it's 85 degrees and a little bit breezy and pretty pleasant day. Think about these, I mean, safety first. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong on that. And these guys are out there running and sweating quite a bit. So after whatever's been going on, it looks like it will be a Lovington throw-in from the far sideline. They'll toss it in, but Chaparral will wind up controlling after it settles down. Into the midfield, Contreras up. He's just going to pop it down onto the left sideline. Battle goes on over there. And coming away with it, Banuelos. Banuelos looking for a little room, but gets his pocket picked. Coming back around and finding his way through traffic is Cruz. Cruz Slow roller onto the near side to Vasquez. Vasquez finding a little room, then a nice slide tackle to try and get it away, but it winds up on the foot of Chaparral. Vasquez looking for some room. Lovington gets on him very tight. Nifty little move to keep it on the sideline. Looking for some space. He'll toss it into the middle, and then it'll be a race across the pitch, and nobody can get to it before it goes out. It'll go over to Lovington. 17:50 remaining here in the first half as Contreras going to go over, and he'll do the throw in from the deep corner. So Contreras tossing it in and, well, tossing it immediately out. And right back to Chaparral, just to the left from the Lovington bench. So another throw in for Chaparral, this time deep in Lovington territory. Wildcats leading 3-0, centering pass. Gets through and away from everybody. Bouncing ball out. Vasquez with it. Gets it to Zuniga. Zuniga will send it in as Contreras just boots it out and gets it with the heel and clips it out the far side as Perez gives chase over there. And take it all the way across the track. And he'll leave it off for Galarraza to throw in. Galarraza does. On the far side as Perez looks for some room, and it'll go out. Pretty tight defense over there. So the Wildcats still going to stay in their own end, leading 3-0, 16:37 remaining here in the first half. And out again. Chaparral's not going to give them much to work with, just a short little throw in, centering pass. That one's going to find its way through. Alexander has to go out and knock it away. Battle inside, and still going to be trouble in front of the net. Alexander with another one that he will have to knock away. And then a collision on the far sideline. Alexander has now stopped 6 shots on goal. And a couple of those right then, quality stops as the ball goes rolling all the way to the Harmeyer Electric sign across the way. 15 and just a little bit left, and we will have a free kick from the far side, so a set play. Alexander directing traffic from the net. Is that one going to come in on net? Goes over the heads of everybody and down in front of the net. It is a foot scramble. Through, loose, onto the feet of one of the Lobos. Tries to kick it away. Lovington will block it out and send it away. Never got the shot on goal. Lovington's defense doing what they had to do. Working the far sideline is Nava. He'll take it away and try and start it back up. Lovington has withstood a bit of a storm here the last 3-4 minutes, I guess, since their hydration break. So back over to Chaparral. They try and go on the attack again. 15 minutes remaining. Onto the heels of Vasquez. He chases it down with Rodriguez on him. Then sending one into the middle. Trying to settle it down and send it up. Contreras with it. He'll just pop it back out to midfield, where Zuniga will take it and have it taken away from him. Nice move by the Wildcats and Banuelos. Banuelos sends it down on another potential break, and coming out is Garcia to swipe that one away. Dangerous move, as if he mistimes that even a skosh, Mendoza has the hat trick. So out on the near side, it'll be a throw in for the Wildcats with Pichardo. Lovington leading 3-0 and had a golden opportunity there to make it 4-0. So the throw-in will be from Banuelos, as he's going to direct traffic on the near side, then toss it in. Going to be controlled on the far side by Chaparral and Galarraza. Lovington trying to go on the attack again. That one, Banuelos battles but loses that battle to Zuniga, but then takes it right back. Going on to the left wing and giving chase is Nava. Gets there before it goes out. He'll try and move it back towards the center, but then it'll go out. And didn't see the flag, and so it'll be, I'm going to say, out of the back, and so it'll go over to the visiting Lobos of Chaparral. Of course, full day of sports today, a triple header. Lovington doubleheader. Eunice in action as well today. Triple header last night, triple header on Thursday. Is that one going to be kicked right into the Chaparral bench? Goes over to Lovington, who will quickly throw it in, trying to get some more pressure back. And now we're going to have an infraction called on Lovington. This has just kind of been a herky-jerky start and stop game. But Lovington leading it 3-0 with under 13 minutes to play here in the first half. So even though the Lovington JV falling 4-1, the varsity has come out to play here in the first half, netting 3. And on the free kick down, Nava off the side of the foot. As Mendoza gets it, he'll move it over to Banuelos, who takes it up the far left wing. Going to look to center it in and head it away by one of Chaparral's defenders. Nava will chase it back down. Nice little screen to get it to Banuelos, and then it'll be off of the tushy of one of the Chaparral Lobos and out. And it should be Lovington throw in. 12 minutes to go here in the first half of action. Cats will come over and corral the ball. The throw in for Lovington from the near side. And they're going to move him forward and say, really, he's going to have a throw in from deep in the Chaparral end. So Pichardo will send it in, but Chaparral will send it right out. And we're going to have a whistle and a free kick for Lovington. Is down is Nunez. No, he's not feeling good. So he's going to take just a moment to collect himself before the free kick comes from the Chaparral Lobos. All right, that young man is up. He seems to be all right. Applause from the crowd. And Chaparral with a free kick inside Lovington territory. Again, waiting on that free kick. And this game has had almost zero flow in it. And on our sister station, Eagle 100.5, Texas Tech knocking off Utah. Big win there, 34-17. That one is through, and Alexander out of position, and that will get one netted. Let's see for sure who got it. It was off of one of the heads. And they are going to credit that one to Aiden Galraza. Comes at the 28:56 mark of the first. And we'll make this a 3-1 ball game. Alexander just out of the net, a little bit out of position on that one. Trying to get aggressive to come out and made the stop. And not quite an own goal, but one that they would certainly like to have back. Still up 3-1 though. No big deal, but still a lot of time to play. Lovington netted the first 3. So Chaparral playing catch up as that one's going to go sailing into the stands. At 15 deep and then back out onto the pitch. So it'll be a Chaparral throw in from near midfield. Bringing it out, getting it onto the toe of Mendoza. Mendoza battles on the near side, finds some room, thought he had some room, closed up quickly, and then he tries the centering pass, and Chaparral just going to send it away and out. Mendoza was going to give chase, and Pichardo says, I got it, partner. So he'll go over and take it. Working a little slowly and gingerly across the track. Hope he's all right. It'll be a 3 free ball throw in for Lovington. So the throw in for the Wildcats. They try and get that tally back. And still leading by 2 goals. Into the deep right corner. Trying to settle it down. As coming over, and that one will go out, and they're going to say off the back line. And last touched by Lovington. So it'll be Chaparral ball as they play comeback, hopefully on the comeback trail for the silver and black perspective. Lovington's intensity has gone down a little bit here the later we've gotten in this half. They catch the breath now as it comes out to Cruz in the midfield. He's going to look for some room to run. Finds it, continues to move down, gets around the Wildcat defense. Contreras picks him up as Cruz looks to get it through and then gets it swatted away. Contreras will go back and find it, and that one will bounce out on the near side. Throw in for Chaparral. Chaparral, while Lovington is kind of backed off and taking a deep breath, Chaparral has picked the intensity up as their goal scorer, Galarraza, directs traffic. And they'll try and set the offense, and then it'll be a long kick over and not even close as that sails well wide of the cage to the right. So back to the Wildcats with 8:13 remaining here in the half. Again, 3 games for you this afternoon across our family of streams and stations. 4 if you count Tech earlier. On Eagle 100.5. Was a 16-17 NCAA matchup. Got a 9 and 10 New Mexico 4A soccer matchup for you here. Lee County News and Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com. TJ Miracle, Tiff and Evie keeping an eye and an ear on things, juggling the cats and the chainsaws back at One Radio Square. And out deep in the Lovington defensive zone, throw in for Chaparral.
In traffic over the shoulder and got smacked and held up.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, that was actually the Eunice guys. Oh, yeah. It's called Bluetooth. Wonderful thing. All right. It's an out. Yeah, St. Michael's the #1 team in 3A right now, taking it to Eunice 20-0. But no, that's going to be a whale of a game. Dawn Morgan should be getting underway here before too long over on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. I guess I'll turn that one off as Lovington will go track the ball down. It will be their ball. I would think at halftime the Wildcats going to come over and just kind of try and recuperate, rest and recuperate, come up with a plan. Leading 3-1, so not anything too major, but the intensity and the energy level has definitely fallen off about the last 10-15 minutes. Well, Chaparral has picked theirs up. Lovington trying to get the breakaway. Chaparral says, nope, not going to happen. Galarraza takes it away. Deep into their zone. And so Lovington now takes it back and will try and settle down as they try and get Mendoza on the bouncer. Has to wait for it. Screens out, goes to the left side, and coming out is Garcia. Makes the stop, and on the rebound, not able to send it back in is Mendoza. He'll have his 4th shot of the day. That'll just be the 2nd save for Ishmael Garcia. Lovington has only had 5 shots. Of course, 3 of them have found the back of the net. Alexander has stopped 6 of the 7 that he has faced. And Lovington needs to find a way to get more defensive pressure. That's kind of what they've done this year. It's kind of what they've done the last couple of years. They'll get a goal or 2 lead, and then they'll just kind of back off. And that lets teams, unfortunately, hang around and sometimes come back. You got to stay out there and keep the foot on the gas, as they say. Banuelos up the far side. He'll send a bouncer trying to get it into the middle. Garcia will come out, and he will grab it and then send it back into play. I get back over to the correct spot for all this. There we go. Well, the ball continues to bounce. That'll be Pichardo, who's been very active in the first. Chaparral takes it back up with Vasquez. A pop up at midfield. Lovington takes it back. Gomez, one of the goal scorers, tries to get it over to Mendoza. And then one of the defensemen for Chaparral just puts it all the way back deep into the Lovington end. Chaparral giving chase on the far side. It will go out and last touched by the Wildcats. So throw in for the Lobos. Clock continues to move. 4:23 remaining here in the first half. 3-1, Lovington in the lead. We're going to have maybe a few subs come in. Or maybe not. It'll be a throw-in on the far sideline for Chaparral. Just a short throw to Perez. Now they try and center it up. Moving it over towards the middle and kicked away and out by Rodriguez. And then we'll have I keep hearing whistles, so I don't know. That's somebody in the stands or somebody watching something on their phone or what's going on. I've thought stoppage of play a couple times, and it's just been somewhere else. And so looking for some room, and chip and chase time. Trying to get it to Mendoza. Mendoza moves around, tries to get it off on the wing, but good defense by Chaparral to send that one away and to keep Mendoza from getting any kind of shot on it. So now dribbling it up the field will be Nunez. Nunez with some options, running mates, and he'll kick that one off the fanny of Contreras, before he sends it into the deep left wing. Looking for some room to move is Vasquez. On him, very tight Lovington defense. 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Pichardo takes it through the middle, tries to find a little room, gets it taken away from him at the midfield. And then a long shot that Contreras says, nope, I'll take care of this one. I'll just put it off the head. Now moving, looking, trying to find some room now. Perez back. Lovington having to fall back on defense. Have spent most of the last 2/3 of this first half in their own defensive end. Being outshot 7-5, but leading 3-1. And that's one they'd probably like to have back is Nunez. He battles. Good battle going on with Medina, who sends it up, and we could have a breakaway here as Mendoza goes up. A little hesitation step, gets around the defender, turns around, kicks it, and light the lamp. The hat trick for Alejandro Mendoza comes at 27:47 of the first, and Mendoza with his third goal of the half. The hat trick gives the Wildcats the 4-1 lead as they get the tally back on the breakaway. 4 goals on just 6 shots. You certainly like that, as the Wildcats go back up by 3. 2 and change to go here in the first half on a warm afternoon from Lovington. Mendoza going to take a breather, take a little extra time on the bench with halftime upcoming, as Rios will come back in to take over for him. Rios got the start earlier. So the Wildcats may try and go on the attack here again as we go right to 2 minutes, plus whatever stoppage time remaining. On the far side, Banuelos battles, sends it in. Pretty good fight going on for it. The top of your screen, and that one goes out, and last touched by one of the Lobos. So should be Lovington ball. Is Garcia actually going to go wrap it up, corral it up? Well, I thought the official on the near side said it'd be Lovington ball, but they changed their mind as it'll be Chaparral ball. We are down under a minute in regulation. Plus whatever stoppage time we happen to have. Both teams, I think, feeling the effects of the heat. It's kind of a humid heat today. Of course, they had hellacious storms down around Chaparral last night. Glad that they could get here and make it. And the El Paso Loop and parts of it were underwater last night. And to get from Chaparral to here, you pretty much got to take that route. Yes, you could go around, but it'd take a whole lot longer. That one will be out into the Lovington bench. Yeah, we had a 90-minute rain delay last night in the Hobbs game, which is why I was not here. Thanks to Don Morgan for filling in. Braden Cooper helping out with the camera and the color last night. I was filling in for Ty Friend over on the Hobbs games. I'd have much rather been here, but we support all of our Lee County teams, as I don't know what we're doing here. The ball was out right in the middle of the pitch, but all right, well, For some reason, we're putting it down. Maybe I missed something while I was working on it. Kind of talking a little bit about last night. So Contreras will send it in, and this half should have been over about probably 90 seconds ago, and they're going to let them keep on playing. They're putting a lot of stoppage time on this one. This game has had very little flow. A lot of stoppages, a lot of turnovers, just not a lot of flow going on in the game. Now a free kick for Chaparral. Yeah, sending it down. We are in stoppage time. That one will get through. Alexander will just come over and he will touch it up. He'll make the stop. And now he'll pick it back up and come around the man who charged in with Vasquez. Now Vasquez will drop back. And I got to think we are about it at the end of this half. As over the leap in the attempt. And they will finally call an end to the half. So first half in the books here in Lovington. The Wildcats leading the Lobos of Chaparral by a score of 4-1. A hat trick in the first half for Alejandro Mendoza, scoring in the 8th, the 18th, and the 28th minute of the match. Josue Gomez got things going as the sophomore midfielder lit the lamp early in the 2nd minute of the game. So halftime here at Wildcat Stadium. We'll be back in just a little while. Wildcat Soccer continues on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and on, Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel and on HobbsAmerica.com. Back here at Wildcat Stadium, getting ready for the start of the second half of this one between the Wildcats and the visiting Lobos of Chaparral High School. I'm TJ Miracle. Thanks for being with us. Lovington in the lead by a score of 4-1. A first half hat trick by Alejandro Mendoza. Yeah, doing the job there, but it was actually Josue Gomez who got the scoring started for the Cats at 1:32 of the first. So, yeah, in the second minute, the Wildcats with a commanding lead here, but the last probably half of that first half, they kind of backed off and looked like maybe they were getting a little bit gassed, and the Lobos of Chaparral went on a bit of an attacking tear there. It's when they got their one goal by Aiden Galarraza with just a little more than 10 minutes left to play in the first half. So gotta be aware of that, and probably cannot have any kind of letdown here in the second. Alexander stopped 6 of the 7 shots that he faced in the first half. On the other side, Ishmael Garcia stopping just 2 of the 6 shots that he faced. So we'll flip into the field, and it will be Santa Teresa ball to start this second half as the officials back out onto the pitch. Score update for you from Eunice. Halftime, and the Cardinals taking on the 3A number 1 team, St. Mike's. Definitely one of those powerhouse-sized schools. And Eunice having a time with it, trailing 27-0 at the half in that one. The the Lovington Lady Cats volleyball team just getting underway. Lovington Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com over at Wildcat Gym. Against Ruidoso, Dawn Morgan with the call there. I don't know why we've got extra soccer balls floating around and flopping around on the pitch out there. There's a lot of kids that come out and play. A lot of times at halftime, they're actually not supposed to do that. And so Chaparral will start it off, and they will be attacking the south goal this time as Lovington takes it away. Near side to Nava. Nava feeds it forward into space, but nobody home except for couple of Lobos. I'm going to have to leave the camera for just a couple of seconds here in a minute and get the doors closed. We got wind moving through as Cruz back. Looks, he'll bounce it into the middle, and that one's going to come through, and Alexander going to have to go corral it over to the side of his own net. So if you will excuse me for just a moment while I go push my door to, trying to get a little airflow, but a little bit too much airflow. Well, that one will go bouncing down after Alexander kicks it away. And it'll go out, and it'll be Lovington ball on the attack. Just underway, a minute gone here in this second half. Yeah, the first half also did not have a whole lot of flow for either team, as that ball will come bouncing into the center. Nava with it, turns around, fires off of the back of Zuniga. And out of immediate harm's way. And now Chaparral going to try and go on the attack. Pichardo battling, but Chaparral gets it back into the middle. Now they've got a 3-on-2 break into the far side, and a shot on, and Alexander will get to it. And then for good measure, he'll come out and bump the man who took the shot. That was Flores. 7th stop for Alexander. And the Cats still lead this one 4-1 as it comes bouncing into the midfield. Chaparral takes it back. Sometimes Lovington is just content to kind of sit back and let the defense handle things. And we have an infraction on the field. It'll be on Chaparral. So free kick for the Wildcats from their own 45-yard line. Lovington well in command as that one just sent back and then sent into play, trying to get it into the middle. Nava sneaking behind, trying to bird dog a little bit. Onto the near side where Chaparral just sends it right back through into midfield. The two teams still trying to kind of figure each other out just a little bit. Bouncing ball in and offsides on the Cats. Mendoza asking, I should have had that one clean. The man on the line judge on the far side saying, nope, you didn't. As Garcia in the net probably going, whew, I missed that one. They're going to bring a free kick out, so they're actually going to say Mendoza committed a minor infraction. May have been how he managed to get so free. On to the near side as Chaparral looks for room. Lovington will save it with Nava. Nava puts on the jets, runs in. Going to try and find a little room. Still on the move, deep inside Chaparral territory, and they're going to say he pushes. And the blue and white faithful not liking the call there. Nava battling pretty intensely with Vasquez. But a free kick for Chaparral deep in their own end. As Nava just going to come take that one away from Vasquez, but not before it goes out. Vasquez will toss it in, and that one gets away from his intended target, and then bouncing back. Two teams just going to kind of play a little back and forth here. Contreras to the midfield, where Gomez handles it. Dribbles around, trying to find a little soft spot. Gets it off of the feet of one of the Lobos, and then it'll go bouncing all the way down and out. 4 minutes have elapsed here in the second half. Wildcats leading this one 4-1. I'm TJ Miracle. Tiff and Evie keeping an eye and an ear on things back at One Radio Square as that one out. Nava battling across the way with Zuniga. Lovington throw in to Mendoza, but they are going to call an infraction on Mendoza. So now the throw in for Chaparral. The Lobos working the far sideline, trying to find a little bit of space. Lovington does a nice job just taking it away and eating some more time to the midfield and the near side with Pichardo. Pichardo looking for some room, takes it up the far left corner, far left wing, gets a little room, looking to center it. He'll send a slow roller in on Garcia, who makes the stop. Pretty good pressure there for Lovington. Back to Pichardo. So he'll pop it over to Gomez, who already has a tally in this one. Gomez loses it, and Chaparral will start back up. It'll bounce through a foot race, trying to get it and just kicking it away. Not sure what in the world Cruz was thinking there, but sends it out, and will give it back to Lovington. So it's Wildcat ball, well in control of this one. And it'll be, looks like Contreras to send it back into play. And the Cats up by 3 tallies. As Contreras back down and into the midfield. Everybody collapses in on it. Wildcats going to try and get a little space taken away, though, by Chaparral. That's Delgado. Delgado, a little hesitation, and Lovington comes over in the form of Rodriguez. Pardon me, that's Banuelos and gets it, but he's just going to have to move it back. And Contreras will reset and send it away again. On to the far side and then out off of one of Chaparral's players on the far side, Lovington. Picking up the pace just a little bit. And they are going to call a violation on the throw-in. Coach Negretti pointing something out over there. A word with the side judge, too. That's 2 times Lovington's thrown it over on a throw-in penalty, so turned it over that way. So now Chaparral going to try and go into attack mode. But can't, as kind of the herky-jerky start and stop continues for both squads. So Lovington throw in deep in their own end. The Wildcats trying to get out of pressure. That one bounces towards the middle. And we'll have another infraction called. Like a hooking call on Chaparral. So free kick for the Wildcats. We'll send it out to Nava right at midfield, and he takes it up the far sideline. Working the wing, a little chip and chase. Nava goes after it, tries to corral it before it gets to the corner. He does. He'll center it up, going into the middle. And a big fight going on for it in front of the net. Lovington tries to move it up. A little turnaround shot by Banuelos and stopped. And back to the midfield by Chaparral. The Lobos continue to try and put the pressure on. Lovington trying to add some of their own. About 9 minutes gone here in the second half. 4-1, the Wildcats in the lead. Scoring, of course, 4 goals, getting the first 3 for Galarraza. Actually getting the first 4 before Galarraza put Chaparral on the board late in the first half. Well, a free kick for Chaparral, sending it over towards the net, and Contreras just going to boot that one over to the side, but it'll be settled down by Chaparral, and Contreras will come back over and send it back away. So it'll be a throw-in from fairly close to the net for Chaparral. I'm going to say from his own bench. And tossing that one into Nunez, who immediately gives that back to Galarraza. To Nunez, looking for some space. Bouncer over onto the far sideline. Looking for some space. Finding it. Little dump pass, now centering it up, and a long shot in, but an easy one for Alexander to handle on Flores' 4th shot of the game. 8th stop for Hayden Alexander, who sends it back down as Mendoza tries to get to it. And Chaparral will wind up having to chase well around. So now they'll set the offense. And back down is Nava to it. And then he will get it back. Looks for some space, bodied off the ball, no call. And Chaparral back to midfield with Galarraza. Now the near side with Vasquez. Vasquez works against Pichardo. Centering pass, and then Ayala, who's in the game, just pops it out. Or pardon me, that's Gallegos. 16, not 14. The new ball comes in for the throw-in from Chaparral. 10.5 minutes have expired here in this second half, of course, plus stoppage time. Now 29:30 to go. Another one down as Contreras just going to send that one at 5 rows deep into the stands. Of course, keep an eye on HobbsAmerica.com and our Facebook pages for all the action next week. We will be in Artesia. I'll be back in the booth. Looking forward to that. As the Cats take on the Bulldogs under the Friday night lights. On the throw-in, goes into the middle. Chaparral not able to put any pressure on, and then sending it off the side and out the back is Nunez. So it goes back to Lovington. Alexander going to go track that one down. And has to go all the way to the fence to get that one. Of course, in soccer, clock continues to move. 28-21 remaining in regulation. Don't mind sharing, I am running a little out of gas right now. Feel kind of like the players did in the first part of that second half. I mean, it's not so much the heat, it's the late night last night. Coming in from El Paso and Las Cruces. A Lovington ball. As Banuelos looking for some room, takes it up the far sideline. A couple of guys running up with him. Trying to find a way to do it. He continues to dribble around. Now comes to the near side and will dump it off to Herrera. Herrera almost gets thrown off the ball, but Banuelos is there as he battles with Mendez. That's Flores. Flores centers it to Galarraza and then sends a bouncer down. And keeping it in as Contreras now. He'll just run it out and then pop it down, trying to get a little give and go. Mendoza chests it up, goes in, and before he can get a shot off, good trailing defense there by Cruz will keep Mendoza from taking his 5th shot on goal, 3 of which have found the back of the net. And now he'll have to track it down all the way out to the JES Energy sign. They had some young'uns out there collecting balls earlier, but I guess they've called it an afternoon. They still got kids on the field. You're not supposed to have kids on the field, but 'tis what it is. So it'll be a free kick for the Wildcats. Corner kick, so a chance for a set play with 26:15 remaining. So Contreras will put that kick in as he'll send it right along the goal line and then swept out by Chaparral and back down. Rodriguez fights to the far side. That one is out. And then he throws it in, and it immediately comes out, and now a whistle sounds. Nope, that's actually somebody watching an American football game in the booth next door. College football this afternoon. So I think that's probably where I've been hearing the whistles. So Cruz will go down, and after a collision, he's not feeling too swift. Then he's up, walking it off, and it'll be a free kick for Chaparral. Lovington leading this one 4-1. 15 minutes have elapsed here in the second half. And a long shot on goal, and Alexander with the easy stop. 9th stop for Hayden there. First shot for Nunez. And bouncing it back down. Nunez off the head, but Lovington with it is Nava. Pops it down. Garcia comes out and grabs it. It's in the bright green kit for him. Alexander in the bright pink cancer awareness jersey in his respective cage. As Contreras again just sends it back down. And the team's just going to continue to kind of send it back both ways as that one goes out of bounds and takes the run out on the track. And having to go get that one will be Pichardo while we've got just a minute. Of course, a big thank you to all of our great sponsors. You see them there at the bottom of your screen. Be sure you support those businesses and organizations that support your kids and your teams. It's because of those folks that we never have to charge you to watch your kids and teams play and never have to beg you for donations either. They make it possible for Wildcat and Lady Cat sports. So Pichardo will toss it in, and it'll be bodied up by one of the Lobos deep in Lovington's end. They call another throw in for Lovington. Trying to get it to Mendoza. He puts it off the toe, and now it'll be a foot race. Overruns it just a little bit as he had space, looked like for a moment on Delgado. Delgado stayed just close enough to keep it from going and being an opportunity into the deep right corner. But then out for the Wildcats and back to Chaparral and then in as Zuniga sends a shot in on Alexander. 10th shot stopped by Alexander. 22:40 to go here in the first half, and now one of the officials is going to come over and have a word with Alexander. So we've got a stoppage in play here. So not sure what they are talking to Alexander about. The official asked for the ball. Now they're going to roll the clock. And they give the ball back to Hayden, so Not sure what that was all about. We've had a couple of those this afternoon. So Mendoza with it again, trying to find a little space, but Nunez will pick his pocket and then save it before it can go out of the end line. Garcia, he's in trouble. He's out of the cage, and he's just going to have to grab it and fall on it. Very similar to the goal that Alexander gave up a few minutes ago. We're right at the end of the first half. Kind of got out of the cage and was battling, but now a free kick for Lovington from the 40-yard line, the 50-yard mark in soccer after the minor infraction. Looks like Contreras going to come up and take that shot. So the free shot, chance for a set play, free kick. Contreras up as waits for everybody to set. He will send one on, and it is on target, and Garcia has the stop. A rare shot for a defenseman with Matthew Contreras. Garcia's only stopped 4 shots. He's faced 7. 3 of them have gotten by, and then a bouncing ball down. Alexander well out of the cage. And he will backpedal into the box, and he tries to send it away. It is out off of the head of Vasquez. As a sub coming in for Lovington. With 21 minutes to go here in the half and in the game in regulation. So Pichardo looks like he's gonna get a well-deserved breather. And Saul Almeida, the senior defenseman, will come in to take his place. Clock continues to move down to the midway portion of the half. Go on the throw-in. Cats and the Lobos continue to battle. No tallies here in this second half as of yet. Score remains 4-1. To the far side with Perez. Little give and go back to Perez, and he chases it down before it can go out in the far corner. And then it'll go out off of a Wildcat. And they are going to call timeout. And are they going to pull? Yep, I guess these are hydration breaks that they are doing with the weather like it is. Again, it's the first time I've seen this. So hydration break here. We'll be back. More Wildcat soccer in a moment. an abbreviated halftime in the half for hydration as we get back to the action here with just under 20 minutes in regulation plus stoppage time to go. I'm TJ Miracle. The Cats in the lead over the visiting Chaparral squad, 4-1. All 4 goals, all 5 goals scored in the first half. We have yet to have a tally here in the second. So it'll be a throw in for Chaparral, then one sent into the middle and out. Dangerous ball is knocking it away. Will be Gallegos and out. It was after the halftime for the half. And really, we're playing 4 20-minute quarters with the breaks kind of like they are, but with the halftime of the half, it was really then that Chaparral started picking their intensity up, and they will have a corner kick now. Wildcats still in the lead, though, 4-1 off of the head of everybody in the middle and just trying to send that one out, and the Cats do. Chaparral will resend. Not sure why Najeda didn't take more of a boot at it, but decided against it. And then a long shot in, and Alexander, an easy stop on a long shot, his 11th stop. That shot by Delgado, as that one will go a bouncing ball down, and nobody around in blue and white to get it. As we have a new goalie in the game is Angel Hernandez, the sophomore keeper, now the goalie. As Garcia out after giving up 4 goals on 7 shots. And a run up the field. Nava looking for some space, and he gets tackled. That should be a free kick. And Nava is down, and he is not feeling good, but it should be a free kick. Are they going to give him the free kick, or will it be a penalty kick? But he got tackled and is up and not feeling good. 18-17 remaining here in the half. So Nava's up. Question is, will it be a penalty kick or a free kick? As Axiel Delgado, he's down on the turf on the near side. He may just be tying a shoe, and they are going to say penalty kick for the Wildcats. So Nava with the penalty kick. One of the most exciting aspects of the beautiful game. So Nava will take it against Hernandez. On the free kick, goes in, slides it in, and light the lamp. Nava on the free kick puts it home. So on the free kick at the 21:43 mark of the second. So in the 22nd minute, Matthew Nava will score the first tally of the second half and give Lovington a 5-1 lead. So the PK goes in for Matthew Nava. And Hernandez really didn't even give that much of a thought. So back down as Cruz will take it. Loses it momentarily, but goes down and gets it back. And now Chaparral really going to have to turn up the heat and intensity, which in turn could give Lovington more opportunities back the other way. As Najeda and Garcia's out there too, and then Najeda goes down. Pardon me, that's Vasquez. That's 1-3, not 2-3. We have seen that a couple of times with a keeper going out and becoming a regular player. I'm going to say free kick from the near side with Nunez. Lovington lined their men up, set play opportunity here. And one of the officials going to talk to one of the Lobos about something. So now Nunez looks for the free kick. He'll be about 25 yards out. They tell him, kick away, son. He'll put it in, and that one will get in on Alexander, who makes the stop for his 12th. 2 of those 12 have been against Nunez. Even though they've had 12 shots, they have not all been quality looks. And the one they got was almost as Wasn't an own goal, but it was just a bit of over-aggression. And now Hernandez in relief, sends it back in with 16 and a half to play in regulation. Nunez sends it back, and then it gets sent down the field and bodied up on the far sideline by one of the Lobos. Those silver numbers, a little hard to pick up at times. I think Lovington would be content if they could just kind of keep things right in the middle of the pitch. And another bouncing ball down as Mendoza, looking for some room, gets kicked in the face, and he'll go in on it, and they will call the foul, and so it'll be a free kick for Mendoza. Oh, he'll have a free kick. Oh, nope, they're going to say Mendoza pushed off to get to that one. So the minor infraction going against the Wildcats. Nunez back into the midfield. 15 and change to go, a 5-1 Lovington lead. And now we'll have another Lobo go down. Up quickly is Cruz. He's gone down a couple of times and been a little gimpy getting up. Free kick for Chaparral. With 5:15 remaining. And the kick, it is on goal, and Alexander will punch it away and knock it out. And he'll just pick it up, and he'll direct traffic from behind the goalie box, and he will send it down over the heads of everyone. As Hernandez comes in, punches it away, and then falls down on the ground. Nava gives chase on the far side, but not able to get to it. A quick throw in, and Mendoza, it's saved by Nunez. Back to the middle, and Hernandez scrambles for it, finally picks it up. But a couple of great chances there for the Wildcats with the keeper out of the net. No shots on goal officially. Actually, they're going to give one to Mendoza, so that'll be his 6th shot on goal. Yeah, 50% shot percentage for a game. He'll take that for sure. Lovington misses a chance to cash in an insurance goal. Already up by 4. Not sure they really need another one, but they'd like to get another one. And on the free kick, Lovington will take it. Is Nava. Little hesitation move. He battles. And we'll lose the ball to Zuniga. But Nava takes it back. Looking for the centering pass, and he's going to get tackled, and he will have a free kick from about 10 yards out. He puts the hands on the head and is slow to get up. One of the Lobos, though, showing good sportsmanship, coming over and helping him up. It will be a free kick from about 20 yards out for the Wildcats. Chance for a set play here. So the chance for the set play, and that'll actually be Mendoza who will put it down. 13 and change remaining. Lovington in control, 5-1. They've been in control since the opening kickoff, basically, getting an early score from Josue Gomez. So Mendoza, the striker for the Wildcats, with the free kick, and he'll send one right in on Hernandez, and that one will be stopped. That's Angel Hernandez's 2nd stop. And it'll come back down the other way. Cruz looking for some room in the middle, and he's going to get bodied by Contreras, and the ball will go out on the far sideline. And they're going to say off of Centennial, so Lovington ball. So the Wildcats cruising. They'll go 2 games over 500, barring the soccer miracle of all soccer miracles. You'll like that, with just a couple more tune-ups left before the district schedule playoffs get underway. As the teams continue to battle on the far side. And it should be Wildcat ball. It will be. So deep breath time and then the throw in. And the teams just trade it right now at midfield. Then a little sweep. Trying to get to Mendoza. Didn't take the bounce he thought it was going to, but he'll wind up with the ball. He'll take it, goes in and sends it in and light the lamp. Mendoza with his 4th goal of the match. Comes at 28:49 of the second. So in the 29th minute, Mendoza makes this a 6-0 lead for the Wildcats on the goal as he lights the lamp for the 4th time this afternoon. So the Wildcats taking care of business against the team immediately on top of them in the Max Preps rankings. So 11-11 and change, and there is the insurance goal that they wanted to net. As Banuelos will come out. He will be replaced by Luis Medina. Mendoza also coming out. Get that young man's number as soon as I can. I know Medina came back in. Also Saul Almeida back in too. As Coach Navarrete, or Negrete, pulling the starters here, and one you have got comfortably in control late in the ball game. Don't mind that play at all. And it'll be out on the far sideline as Banuelos fights with one of the Lobos over there. And then we'll have a infraction on the throw-in, so give it over to Lovington to throw in. Front of their own bench as Banuelos tosses it in. Come off the head of one of the Lobos. Goes into the middle. Lobos control. Sweeping down, then off of the head of Herrera. And back to Chaparral, centering pass attempted. Lovington there to just kind of boot it away. Trying to settle it down is Najera. And Lovington will take it. Now they'll bounce it into the middle, but not ready for the pass was Nava. 10 minutes to go, plus stoppage in the match. Lovington up by 5, 6-1 is the score. Slow roller back is Hernandez. Going to take it just off of the toe of Zuniga. And they actually say free kick for Lovington. They just put it down and immediately boot it. And then a long distance dedication, if you will, from Luis Medina. It's through the uprights and good, but you don't get points for that in soccer. So it'll go back over for Chaparral. 9 and change plus stoppage, a 6-1 Wildcat lead. Up next after this one, Lovington will travel to Roswell on Tuesday. Take on the Roswell High Coyotes. And then next up for this Chaparral squad, they'll have a week to lick their wounds before they take on Valencia down in Chaparral. So ball back in play as Delgado dribbles it himself under pressure. Looks for some room, keeps it going, and then he's going to get tackled and bodied off of the ball by Josue Herrera. As Delgado throws it in, finds a little soft space, but Lovington closes it quickly. Contreras will pop it back down and into the middle of the field where Najera will battle out there. Little spin move. Takes it inside the end zone. And Lovington's defense on him pretty tight. And then all the way back out. And Chaparral will have to reset their attack. With Nunez working the far side. Lovington's wing defense has done a very nice job this afternoon. Taken away there by Gomez, and then a whistle. And Chaparral would like to get another tally on the board if they could. Into the middle again, and that one goes rolling through. Giving chase is Rios for the Wildcats, but it'll be Galarraza who winds up with it. Looks for some space, gets through him and into the teeth of the Wildcats. And that one's just going to go out the back line. So it'll be Lovington ball, 7:18 remaining in a 6-1 lead. Two goals tallied here in the second half. A penalty kick by Matthew Nava in the 22nd minute. And then a butte by Mendoza, his fourth of the game in the 29th minute of the match. 29th minute of the second half. And to bounce her down, it could be another breakaway attempt for the Wildcats. Looking, trying to find some space, trying to get it in, and a little bump from behind, and no call as that one will go out as Ricardo Ayala, or pardon me, that was Nava. That's 19, not 14. And then Nava will get a corner kick. Actually going to send over Brandon Banuelos, who's back in to take care of that kick from the northwest corner. And now they've decided, no, it's not a corner kick. It's going to be a free ball for the visiting squad from Chaparral. Not sure the thinking on that, but all right, whatever. Clock continues to move. Under 6 to play, plus stoppage time. As that's Moreno. We'll just calmly send it in to Zuniga. And then the ball gets off of the shin guards and out of Gomez. So Delgado throws it in to Najera. And then taken away and out by Gomez. Lovington can just afford to kind of play a little tic-tac here. And the goal is to keep it without any more goals on the board. And then we'll have a player injured on the throw-in. He's up, though. He's fine. Nunez looks for some space in the midfield and will send it down into the Lovington defensive zone. Then giving chase as that one goes out is Giovanni Pichardo, who just checked in. 4:44 to go here in the match. I missed 13-13 and Triskaidekaphobia of the world uniting. And we'll have a minor infraction, free kick for Chaparral. Again, next up for Lovington after tonight, they'll travel to Roswell High on Tuesday. Match down there, so a free kick from about the 20-yard mark. And on the free kick, and that one is going to go to the left side of the net and out. So it'll become Lovington ball as Nava going to check out. Coming in for him will be Quintana. And it looks like we're going to have Juan Pichardo come out. JV player come in for him. I'll catch that young man's number as soon as I can. I believe that's Nicholas Contreras. Yep, number 4. Nicholas Contreras now on the pitch. Matthew Contreras will set it down and send it away with 3.5 to go. Plus whatever stoppage the officials deem necessary. So into the midfield. Chaparral going to try and put another tally up against a younger Lovington squad. But Lovington well in command. 6-1 of this one and out. It'll be a throw-in for Chaparral from the deep right corner. Waiting on it, just a small throw-in as Cruz looks for room. Tries to take it to the middle and gets taken off the ball by Ayala, and Ayala sends it back to the middle of the pitch. Bouncing ball to the near side. And to Vasquez. Vasquez tries to center it up. And does. Moves it in. Cruz winds up with it. Lovington's defense does a nice job on him, and they will clear it out near the midfield. And then a long shot in that Contreras just says, yep, not on my watch. He's basically played second goalie today. He's probably stopped 2 or 3 shots on Alexander. 3, I think. As Hayden, I'd be a little upset. He's cost me 3 saves in this one. Wouldn't be that upset, though. As we click down to 2 minutes remaining in regulation plus stoppage time. Chaparral trying to get another tally on the board, and there'll be another long shot that'll go in Nunez's pile. 14th stop for Alexander, who will just kick it away. And chasing it down, and we'll go out. It'll be Lovington ball deep in Chaparral's end with Quintana, who chases it down. 90 seconds or so remaining, plus stoppage. Lovington will improve to 7-5 on the year, go 2 games over 500 for Coach Edgar Negrete, and they will drop Chaparral to 500 at 6-6. Oh, to the middle. That'll be Najera, who leaves it off for Alvarez, who just checked in. 1 minute remaining, and a free ball for the Lobos. Again, the Wildcats improving. 2 games over 500 now. Still a ways to go before we get to the district slate. Bouncer down is Matthew, just will bounce it down. That's Matthew Contreras. And a bouncing ball that Hernandez will come out. He'll actually take it on the feet himself, and he'll push it up. That's a very dangerous move for a keeper to make. Quintana with it, turns around and fires, but it'll be wide of the net. And the officials say that will do it. Well, they did it exactly at the time, and Lovington is victorious in this one by a final of 6-1. The lone tally for Chaparral coming late in the first half in the 29th minute by Aiden Galarraza for the Wildcats. Their first goal netted by Josue Gomez just 90 seconds into this one. Then Alejandro Mendoza, a 4-goal outing, a hat trick in the first half in the 8th minute, the 18th minute, and the 28th minute. And then in the 29th minute of the second half, Matthew Nava on a penalty kick in the 22nd minute rounds out and finishes up the scoring for your Lovington Wildcats. So Lovington now, as we mentioned, 7-6 on the year. Congratulations to them as they are victorious. And with that, we will wrap this one up. For Tiff and Evie in studio engineering and producing, for my partner in crime, Don Morgan, who's on Lovington Sports YouTube channel right now with the Lovington Lady Cats volleyball squad, I'm TJ Miracle saying so long from Wildcat Stadium. Your final again, Lovington 6, Chaparral 1. This has been an exclusive presentation of New Hallmark Digital and One Radio Square Sports.